let's look at Battle Report Week 5 here under the dial. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
And let's look under the dial. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving it.
That's amazing. I love it.
This is us trying to be professional, by the way.
Welcome back to Under the Dial. This week, Battle Report Week 5.
Yes.
Once we stop being unprofessional.
Being unbelievable.
So we've just had a game.
Yes.
It went a bit longer than the last one, which is good.
Yeah, I was doing well up until the last couple turns there.
Yeah,
I'd gotten more points than he had.
Yep.
So I knocked out his Captain Marvel Prime Vampire.
Yes, I was going with the one from Battle World, who's the lovely vampire, steel energy, charge, plasticity horror show.
And you had gotten the free illusions that don't count for points, and then just my 2 giant girls, which is pretty good. So I was doing okay, but then I was placed a little bit too funny. The map, we were on the Iron Man map, too many different elevations, and I couldn't quite get myself into the right position to be able to make a reasonable attack against Star Fox.
Yeah. Turns out Star Fox with the X specs is pretty nasty.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as having Mjolnir, right? You are giving him the one thing that he's lacking, which is a move and attack ability, and he's a very strong character.
Yeah. Though I think it gives him a bit more flexibility than just the...
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just saying at the time that was the reason why it was good, right?
100%.
It was a combo.
The charge flurry helped to get rid of a lot of those Shredder illusions, and to also deal a few outlying hits to Shredder and Medusa, which was nice. I also went with the shifting focus Captain America, who has the wonderful leadership ability. If you succeed, you increase everyone's stat by 1. So it's usually increasing attack for all the Avengers, and yeah, it got pretty full on. You did manage to get out Trouble at Superman though.
Yeah, because of a bad roll.
Who came out and...
but what I was playing this time that was different to the other weeks was I played Lockjaw, who can also be carried by Medusa, which worked out well. Lockjaw's good, and I think part of my thinking here was that I think I was lacking some kind of perplex prob control on the team in general.
Yeah, you did pick perplex or prob on out Lockjaw a lot when you were rolling that dice.
Honestly, it's the only reason I have him. Like, I think he's okay by himself. I think that he's a solid character.
Yeah.
He doesn't die very easily. He's got reasonable movement. He can be carried by Medusa again, which was the point of having him, but he also counts as kind of a support piece. So I had him, and I was playing Dadbod, Spider-Man,
who was nice in whipping out Shredder from a close combat scenario.
That's exactly right. So he has this ability. I'll just read the text here, which I thought was kind of nice. For the points, he's 30 points with 4 clicks, which is pretty good. It's everybody has power, so my only responsibility is to my daughter. Leap climb. When Spider-Man moves after resolutions, you may choose a friendly standard character occupying a square adjacent to one he moved through. If you do, place that character adjacent. It can't be given a costed action this turn. So it's basically like carrying anybody for 1 square. But what I liked is that it's leap climb, but it's also on any move. So even if I just move through somebody, I can move them across and whatever. So the trick was to move Shredder maybe out of a bad spot. But again, because of the map, the elevation meant that I was never able to put him into a proper adjacent square.
Yeah.
So I didn't win map roll, so I wouldn't have chosen that map, I guess was that's what I'm getting at.
It also helped, or rather hindered, your team in terms of placing Lockjaw when Medusa was carrying him.
Correct. I kept having because of the elevation thing, I was like, I can put him down I can't put him on the other elevation, which means that he has to go in front, which meant that the TK wasn't very useful on Medusa, which was my other plan because it's free. I just want to be able to position my guys or your guys in the places that I want to do the attacks, but the elevation was too wide, so I had to place Medusa and Lockjaw, and it never laid out the way that I wanted to put it. So it's a bit tricky, but overall the team was still good. It still works.
I reckon so, and I think on a nicer map that's more conducive to your build, definitely would work.
Not as much elevation, I think, is the only thing here.
And I
right?
gotta tell you, every week you use her, my respect for Medusa goes up.
Yeah.
Like, I already like the piece a lot. I'm really glad I got one. But every time I see you moving things with her and doing the TK and stuff, it's just such a great.
It's such a solid
75
piece.
point, and there's so much you can do with keywords, without keywords. It's fantastic.
Even if it was just the Giant Reach 3, the free TK,
The leadership for an extra action.
the leadership by itself, she's great. But if you can have characters that share keywords, she's even better. Like, just an unbelievable thing. But I suppose she can also just move the 3 squares for free.
She can.
Regardless, meaning that.
And it's phasing teleport, so she can move through anything.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I think that it is a solid piece no matter what. She definitely holds her own.
Yeah.
3 targets at range 2. I mean, it's 3 range, but still.
Do you remember that time I used the TK to grab an object from one end and TK it to the other and hit someone with it?
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah. Good time.
So, I mean, overall, I think this would be the last week we're doing testing on this team. So we're going to have, hopefully the next video in terms of this team you see will be an actual match that we'll play.
Yep.
I'll play with like what I consider to be the final version of the team, which I actually still think, I don't know if it's this or if it's with the Captain America, with the hypersonic.
I think Captain America did more damage.
I think that he does.
So would you have him instead of Lockjaw?
It's basically him instead of both of these.
I think that was
because then I have to put the Goblin Glider in as well.
Yeah.
So these guys equal that point.
So it'd be him, the Glider, and the 8 Batman. To
Correct.
Give him
I don't need the 8 Batman is the point, because Medusa can do it.
But you'd have to get him out there a bit closer to it, because she can only TK to 3 squares. The object's got to go down 5 squares away.
Yeah, but she's got TK and move for 3.
Oh, of course. But it's TK of 3 squares, right?
Yeah. So I move 3 squares.
Yeah.
She TKs the object, which should only be 2 squares away.
Yeah.
Onto Cap.
Oh, so she TKs it 2 to her.
Yes, yeah, correct.
Then 3 to
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
She moves 3, then TKs the object to him. So I don't think I need the Batpog, which kind of frees up a couple extra points there, and we just need the final kind of decisions on ID cards or Giant Girl and something else and to fill it out. I don't really know. I was also playing 2 Giant Girls this time, by the way. Again, I'm just always stuck for the last 20 points, 22 points or so. I don't know what is better. I haven't seen anything great. I always lose Giant Girl every time I play, so it just feels like I'm giving points.
To be fair, it's the sort of thing that, like with Carnage, it's an immediate target.
Yeah,
and it's an easy bit of points.
Yes, exactly
one
right.
click.
But that's it. I also don't want to give my points away. So, is the ID card better? I don't know. Shredder he's 100 points. He can pretty much pop down anybody.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of ID cards that are going to be popping something down more than that. So
yeah, you could even pop down Dark Knight Returns Joker, which, by the way, still no one has explained to us.
Yeah.
Why that's such a good call in. If you've got any idea, please tell us. We're still interested.
Yeah. So that's my last bit of decision making, and I guess you and I will make that decision before the next game.
Yeah.
And we'll try and record the whole game, and then for the next set for the Road to Nats, we'll build a different team.
Yeah. Do we have an inkling on what that might entail at this point?
So I've got a couple ideas.
Okay.
The first one is to do with the Dark Knight Returns Superman, which I still think that there's a team there. With Mjolnir still in rotation, as we saw the rotation list came out, which we were right about, by the way, which I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So with Mjolnir still in there, I think that he's a very, very good piece. I just need to tweak those couple points. It's a very small amount of points between him, Mjolnir, and something else. So I don't know what that is yet.
And the boxing ring too, right?
Usually the boxing ring is a good option in that situation, correct. And you know what? The boxing ring might even work with this team, and partly because I removed the tricky terrain with the boxing ring. I can place it and just get rid of blocking terrain that I don't want or something like that. So I don't know. It's something to think about. So that, and if I'm only thinking about what we currently have, it's then quite likely a team with the God Flash, the God of Death.
Yeah.
And either the arms or the beetle pod. I don't really know which one's better. I'm still thinking the arms actually, because I want to be able to hit without standing next to them. So I don't need to break away, because even with hypersonic, it's still, there's a chance that I fail. But if I can hypersonic speed and not have to stand next to them.
But then if you're stuck there next turn, you can flurry or...
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, if it's the giant reach, I think, is the thing, and for him having the steel energy, he can kind of keep himself up there, keep people from healing. Something with him is quite likely where I'm looking, but yeah, I mean, those will be the teams that's based on my own likes and dislikes for teams. I think that in terms of the current meta as we've seen so far, that Vulture is unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
And I've seen a lot of games now that seem like he dominates pretty hard. You just have the right team around him, so
Understandably, that kill someone and charge again ability, especially if you pair him with those arms to give him a flurry.
It's pretty hardcore.
There's some very nice stuff to be done there.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Sounds good. Well, we'll cross those bridges when we come to them.
That's it.
But yeah, so next game will be
hopefully a
Shredder.
match. Yeah, and where you can see the full match in action and hopefully give us your own input on the final kind of build of the team. And obviously, we wanted you guys to have input on this in general. So, do you have any questions about how we built this team? Do you have any thoughts on, do you have any questions about what kind of processes we went through to pick these pieces, I suppose, is what I'd like to know.
Definitely. So hit us up in the comments down below.
Absolutely.
Also, email. That's right, that thing we have that we're talking about.
That's it.
Hit us up at underthedial@gmail.com.
Yes.
Address in the down below. And you can also find us on Reddit, so comment on our posts.
We usually post on Reddit. Yeah, on the HeroClick subreddit.
Yeah, so feel free to comment on our stuff and be like, hey, this is what I think, your videos are alright.
Your videos suck.
No, the videos are alright.
Whatever you want to do.
They're okay. But yeah, let us know. And if you've got any ideas on things that Dave might add to future teams.
Obviously, I also need to have the piece. And Rebirth is coming out pretty soon, so that's why I'm saying those are the teams as it is now, right?
Yeah, and we are watching the unboxings with Scott Porter. The fourth one dropped, at time of recording, the fourth part of the Rebirth one dropped this morning.
I don't think he's opened anything that I'm like blown away by. I think that the Deathstroke is really good.
Yes.
And there might be something there, considering he has traded Hypersonic, is pretty tasty. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see more of the set. I think we're both getting a brick this time, so...
We are. It'll be another brick wall like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
We both open them together, and I will be the one who gets the Cap Venom this time. I don't know what...
I hope you don't get a Cap Venom in that set.
I hope I get a Cap Venom in that set.
Just as an accident.
I want to get a Cap Venom in every set.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, so that'll be it. I guess until next time.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe.
I thought I said that already.
No?
Did I just forget that?
You just said the email. Don't forget to subscribe.
Do not subscribe. Do not ring the notification bell.
This
Do not
is reverse
watch our videos.
psychology. Nice. Until next time, Finn.